Howdy mates, this is David. One more time, coming here to have a quick talk to you guys. These days, I don't know, it's just been a weird day for me, I gotta confess. But yeah, anyways, I was just watching some previous videos that I put here, and I see that this actual format is what's driving the most attention from the viewers right now. So this is the reason I'm returning to it. I tried to do some vlogging sort of material recently, but it didn't go as well as I wanted it, as well as I visualized in the first place. I put more effort into editing and stuff, but I see that this raw material, I come here and just be sincere about stuff and communicate myself is what drives the most attention in this channel to this point. I'm so grateful for the opportunity of, having it in the first place and having you guys here. And yeah, let's just dive right into it. Today, I want to talk a bit about frustration, how frustration has been in my life recently, and what I think can be done right away when it comes to these moments where you wake up in the morning and you're not so satisfied with whatever. And it happens to everyone. Everyone's basically subjected to it sooner or later in life. And it's crucially important that we have sort of exit routes you know, to realize what we need to do in circumstances like that. Well, since the experience I'm having is current, something that's happening right now, I see that most of it is about the visualization I hold. I see that throughout the past three to 4 weeks, I've been, I've been waking up by, workers working upstairs, and it's kind of weird because it's a huge, like an immense level of stress that I don't truly, this is not something that I'd like for anyone. It kind of stressed me out a lot. Um, but at the other side, I see that it kind of forces me to look at things differently. Since I've been studying a bit of the Kabbalah principles recently, I see that one of the things that transforms the whole concept when it comes to acting upon things and living a more abundant and um, a profound life for real is recognizing that independently of what's happening, everything, each and every time detail, even though you consider it bad in the first place, it's serving the ultimate reality that you live. And it's so important to have a clear visualization of what and how that actually plays a vital role on your progress and your life as a whole, and the life of people who've been in the past and the life of people who is going to come in the future, and you as a vessel who basically helps to organize the whole scenario. You are so important right now. You are so important for this reality to exist and everything to come across as it must be. And your visualization, the way you look at things, the way you decide to react to things, is such an important and empowering part of such a huge thing that's going on. Sometimes it's difficult to really realize and recognize what it truly is. Let me pause real quick because I have stuff in the in the kitchen, but I'll be back. Yeah, so as I was mentioning, your visualization is so important for the overall reality, everything that's happening surrounding you. And it's so important that you hold yourself acquaintable of these things in the first place. For example, I see that one of the things that forces me to have a better and clearer visualization is to just put myself in this circumstance. I don't know if it's clear because my body is so strong that it's hard to really, put out what I'm feeling for real. But I'm kind of feeling not as, you know, I'm not feeling as well as I want it to be right now. But my body actually tells me, well, you have so much strength in there. You have so much energy, and the situation might not be the lack thereof, but the excess thereof. Having way too much energy that you haven't really derived, that you haven't really found a specific route for it. And that's exactly what happens when you have too much energy and you're kind of struggling to segment it into an appropriate position in a proper way. And we are capable of creating the reality that is surrounding us. If you think about everything, like I was, I just had a terrible day today, and it's about 1 a.m. right now, and I had this terrible day. The day was cloudy, and there was a point there I just said to myself, well, I'm going to meditate for a bit. I'm going to pray for a bit. And then when I've done all of this, I just said, I'm going to sleep because that's the best thing I can do. Nothing that I'm doing awake is bringing me back to that joyful state, not bring me back to even, the willingness to do anything. So I literally allow myself to lay back in the bed and sleep for a bit, for a few hours. When I wake up, because I couldn't sleep anymore, I was just still feeling a little weird about myself, a little weird about, my life and what am I doing? Like, am I spending my life? Am I wasting it? Am I wasting my time, my precious time? And then I started realizing that, wait a minute, even though what you have surrounding you might sound little, might sound not enough, still have some. And if you look around, and if you look back in time, what you have today might probably so much more than you had in the past, but your mind is constantly reevaluating the reality based on what you currently have. So back then, like if I think backwards, like a year ago, what I have today, it's not comparable. It's impossible to compare. The knowledge, the assets, my actual physical placement, and the array of possibilities surrounding me is so abundant. But for a single day of doubt, I kind of throw it in away as if nothing of this were important, as if throughout this entire year I haven't gotten anything. And it's kind of dangerous. So I wear my sports shoes and decided I'm going to go out. I'm going to have some exercises. I'm going to go to the market. I had like a few bucks in my account. And I said, let's see what the divine wants to tell me about the abundance that I think that I don't have. By going to the market and seeing what I can buy with as little as I have. And magically, of course, this is the divine, this is God literally telling me, you are abundant. It's not about the amount you have in your bank account. You are abundant by nature because you are a child of God. And God is always helping his children. God is always looking for his children. Abundance, as I said, is not a number. Abundance is so much more than that. So much more than we can even realize. We're here, we are breathing, we are capable of communicating, we are capable of holding our bodies. We have a physical body, we're still alive. If you can hear me, if you can perceive me somehow, this is already a notice that you were so abundant. So I went to the market and decided I need to feed myself, because if I'm going to have some exercise when I get back, I need some proper, food. I need some, stuff that will give my body energy to continue the journey. And every time I have food, I sit down to prayer, and I ask God to bless it, to be good to my health, and to strengthen my body, to give me the energy I need to continue this journey. And it's been given me very abundantly, I can tell you. I'm so grateful for that. So I went to the market, I picked up some stuff, and interestingly enough, the little I thought I had was so much more than I usually go to the market and when my bank account, when I don't have to worry about anything. And I felt like there was so much more. Then I come back home and I start preparing food. And it's awesome. It's great. I'm so thankful for that. And thankful not only for the food, for the physical stuff, but for the realization, for the visualization, updated vision of what it truly is, the nature of the things that I live here, the universe that I'm surrounded by, the infinite abundance of this place. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity of coming here in the first place and sharing these thoughts with you guys. And, looking back a few hours ago, I wouldn't really be able to communicate this, to keep myself here so strongly. I wouldn't even think that it was a possibility for me to wake up and, to face the camera, to bear my testimony of all these things, of the miracles that are happening in my life. And I can tell you, there are so many miracles. We still live in the days where miracles happen. Just a matter of belief. It's just a matter of positioning yourself in the right way, waiting for these miracles for real. Of course, doing something. Of course, constantly moving yourself. Constantly moving yourself. Belief is not just staying here and waiting for it. Moving. And sometimes, as yesterday was happening, I couldn't believe that there was anything I could do. Anything else. And then that's the point when I decided to lay back and get some sleep, because sometimes that's all you can do. And trust me, God prevails. God's taking care of everything. And sometimes He does not want us to do extraordinary things. He wants us to do the most simple thing as possible. So faith, that's what it's truly about. And at the end of the day, I'm so grateful for the opportunity of coming here and being able to express these things, express these feelings. I study a lot about storytelling and how to tell stories more, more compelling stories in various different mechanical ways and systematic approaches to achieve certain targets. Sometimes it looks so difficult. There are so many details. But at the end of the day, if you look at what truly matters, are those simple, so simple ways. And throughout a lifetime, I've been learning to simplify stuff. I'm the kind of guy that naturally complicates usually tends towards having things over complex. And I see that the only way of really achieving anything resonant for real is by finding that level of simplicity at the end of the day. That's how I'd like to wrap up this session today. I'm so grateful. Such a beautiful opportunity of being able to reach you out. And that's basically it. Thank you, and see you around.